Welcome to episode 3 of the DualShock Show. I'm one of your hosts, Matt Mobley, right next to Tom Freeman.
Hello.
And special guest star, Alan Muir.
Beyond.
Oh, that's not our podcast, but alright. We are fans of the Beyonds, and we're very sorry, Ryan Clements, that you lost your job, that you got laid off. So, anyhow, Tom, Alan, it's been a big week for PlayStation.
Oh my god.
Just a bit.
Very big. Now, everybody knows, all the listeners know what the topic of the week is, but for our sake, I want to save everything from that event, from Wednesday, February 20th, Sony event in New York. I'm going to save that for later, for topic of the week. So let's not talk about it. Let's not even mention what it is. Let's just go on with the show proper and wait for that. God damn it, Tom!
My bad.
Alright. Yes, the PlayStation 4 was announced. It was announced on Wednesday, and we're very excited for it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it a little bit later. But first off, let's talk about what we've been playing. Alan, you're new. You are our guest star. So why don't you start off? What have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Rock Band Blitz.
Oh yeah, because they stopped producing Rock Band DLC for that.
Yeah, I opened up my inbox and I saw, hey, here's $10 from Sony.
Oh, don't even mention that. I got so angry because I thought it was a spam and I couldn't figure out how to highlight it. Like, I was trying to highlight the voucher. I was like, I think it's real, and then I couldn't do it. So I was like, whatever, it's probably spam. So I deleted it, and I was so angry for the rest of the night when I realized it was real.
Yeah. At least you got the opportunity. None of us got any over here because, Sony's safe in Europe. Let's not care about them. I saw on Reddit all these posts about money. I'm like, oh yeah, gonna buy me some DLC? No.
Yeah, so I was thinking, hey, I may get Okami. I never played it originally.
I wanted to play Okami. God damn it.
But I'm like, nah, I'll just get Rock Band Blitz for $15. And, yeah, that's $15 for a game that has about, I think, 10 songs.
10 songs. How are the trophies?
Pretty good.
Yes. But from what I understand, though, Rock Band Blitz is one of those. It's not like Rock Band exactly in that it's like it's all the same difficulty. Nobody can pick easy. That's what I understand about it.
It's a throwback to Harmonix's older types of games. Mm-hmm. Where you have older rhythm games where you're controlling one part, then you can just quickly go over, do another, and there are all these different effects that you could do, like clear the surrounding instruments of notes, and you get a multiplier. But yeah, it's a big regret.
Oh, it's got bigger focus on social, doesn't it, that game? It's a lot of share with your friends score and all that.
I did buy Tainted Love.
Tainted Love is a good song.
Yeah, it is.
Just because it was on Doctor Who. And, yeah.
Tainted Love is good. Where Did Our Love Go is my favorite, though. If I had to pick between Tainted Love and Where Did Our Love Go, it's Where Did Our Love Go.
And since I wanted to get the bad taste out of my mouth and my hands, I just thought, I'll play Dead Space 3.
How do you like Dead Space 3? You got it? Yeah. You ended up getting it?
GameFly.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Yeah, I loved Dead Space 1 when it came out.
Well, Dead Space 1 is good. I still need to platinum it.
Oh, that's a good game, yeah.
I was, 3 years ago when I was my first attempt to become a Sony fanboy. I got the collector. I got that and Mobley Planet 2 on the same day.
And did you play Dead Space 2?
Oh yeah, up until the last level because I.
Last level's really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say
last level is like a pain in the ass.
That's why
Even on
The boss is
casual,
annoying.
the last level is a pain in the ass. You're just like, Jesus Christ!
I couldn't even figure out that boss for ages. Like,
I couldn't either. I was
What's
like,
with these holograms? What's going on? What am I meant to be attacking? What's going? Oh,
The minute it started, originally I died because I had no idea what was going on.
The Dead Space 2's opening is like one of the best horror openings of any horror game.
Yeah.
Like, I
So
firmly believe that.
have you played Fear 2 though? That's got a pretty good opening.
I haven't played Fear 2, actually. I played Fear 1.
That's got a really creepy dream sequence.
I played Fear 1, and like, it was really, like, I like scary games, and it was really cool at first, with all the Alma stuff. And then I got to like level 4, and I was like, it all just feels like another shooter, and I don't want another shooter, I want a scary game.
The loading screens are the worst in that game. I have Fear 1 and 2, because I like horror games. There's not enough this generation. But Fear 1, the loading screens take up to, 2 minutes. It's that bad. Do something else and then the loading screen comes up. It's awful.
Yeah, but from what I understand of Dead Space 3, can I ask you, Alan, it seems like it's more like Dead Space 1. Dead Space 1 was kind of like a lot of fetch quests and errands. Isaac was an errand boy. And then 2 was kind of just like a survival game. It was like, we need to get out of here. We need to get the fuck out of the sprawl. So, but from the reviews that I've read, 3 seems to go kind of more back to the fetch quests like 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was more.
I've played I did the prologue.
Mm-hmm.
Then the prologue, I was going in expecting to hate it. I loved it, and I thought that dude was like the main character.
Go back to that.
Yeah. Can I spoil the prologue?
You can spoil the prologue. Don't spoil it too much.
Yeah, prologue. Yeah.
Okay, so you basically start out as some grunt who's going to who's on a fetch quest from a scientist to get a receiver or some type of gadget. You get to the ship, bam, necromorphs.
So you're not Isaac?
You're not Isaac, but you go through, like you're going down the ship. You're rappelling down, then you're sliding down, and you pretty much turn around, shoot the ship, and it just like breaks apart with you like safely passing through. So
right.
Just a badass moment, and it pretty much ends with you getting shot in the head by your superior.
And that's the prologue.
And no, the prologue is then he shoots himself, and it says, and it's like 200 years ago.
Oh, well, see, now that's interesting.
Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But right now it's part I stopped at before was more of a action game part. And like even though I played 1 and 2, I had no idea what was going on. And I still have no idea what's going on. So they're referencing all these things, and I'm like, was I high when I did that?
No, that's what I was going to say. I played the Dead Space 3 demo, and I'm a big fan of 1 and 2, and I own both. But I thought it was a bit action focused, a bit like Resident Evil 5 from Resident Evil 4. Well, I say Resident Evil 4. I said earlier Resident Evil games. It reminded me of that. They shifted to co-op and a lot less survival horror and more, action thriller.
The demo for 3 didn't feel quite right to me either, so
I didn't get it, and I thought the workshop stuff was a bit like
the workshop stuff was too intricate for me. Like I was like, I'll just take whatever you give me. Just give me whatever.
I thought it was complicated, and I thought it was kind of just like, buy stuff, shoving it in your face, and I thought, does that come across in the game? Does it feel like it's telling you to buy DLC?
Right.
Not really.
Not really.
That's good.
Kind of just there.
You're the only person that's played it outside of the demo, Alan, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you, without spoiling anything, because I've read some reviews. There are, I think, 2 things that I wanted to address, and we already addressed the first one, that it's about fetch quests again. The other is, I hear Isaac as a character is kind of bland this time around.
Yeah, they treat him like he's like this, just this high figure, and he pretty much acts like a diva.
Oh, really?
There's really nothing there.
Now, from what I understand, Carver, your partner, is actually a more interesting character, and I read a review where they said that his backstory is very tragic, and it's like one of the best parts of the game, but it's an optional co-op mission.
Yeah, I had the same.
Yeah, even just from when he first came in onto the scene, I was like, this guy seems interesting. I wonder what he's been through.
Well, then I would suggest you find yourself a partner and get up on that. Check that out.
Yeah, are you playing the game co-op, by the way?
No, I'm playing it single player, trying to set a what's the word?
Precedent is the first word that came to my mind. So,
trying to set a mood.
Just set a mood. You're trying to get a feel for it.
Like it's in a couple hours. It'll be dark. It'll be the perfect time to play.
Oh yeah, I always play the games in the dark.
Same. I didn't think Dead Space 2 was scary, but when I played that game in the dark, that game gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Dead Space 2, I believe, is scarier than 1.
I'm not sure, because there's that bit in 1 with the guy headbutting the wall, like caving his own head in. That creeped me out, because you could hear
that's creepy. And like the girl laughing in that one level when she's those are creepy. But I think that 2 was like much scarier, especially and much more horrifying. You know, with the babies and the kids and the whatnot.
True, yeah.
Alan, is there anything else you've been playing?
Nothing else. But speaking of Dead Space 2, the whole return to the Ishimura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was where it just...
That was the best level.
Yeah. I thought it was brilliant, yeah, how there's no enemies for, about 20 minutes, just
I played that game twice, and both times, when the monster thing grabs your leg, still got me. I was like, oh no! And then he wakes up, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. That happens. Okay, so Alan, that's what you've been playing. Tom, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a bit of Heavy Rain, a bit depressing.
It is depressing.
Jason. I haven't played too much. I just finished the Scott Shelby fight in the apartment with.
Oh man, that was a part of the demo, I remember.
The demo, yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the demo. I mean, I spent ages in his house preparing for Jason's lovely birthday party before he gets crushed. But,
oh man.
My perfect lifestyle. So I had to go all the way through. I'm late for Sean picking it up.
Yeah, I mean, look at Ethan Mars's life before Jason dies, and after. Just look at his house. His house is beautiful, and then you look at his shitty little apartment after his son dies, and you're like, wow, that's
the most heartbreaking thing in Ethan's new house is when you go upstairs and there's this cupboard, and if you go in there, you can play a video, a home video of what Jason and Sean want to be when they're older. And then he starts crying. It's why did I go in this room?
Yeah, it's the drawing room, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I think, he's got some architect work, but obviously he's just lazy because there's dust over it and everything. It's just,
When I played that part, I was just shocked that there was no shotgun or any suicide device anywhere.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty good, an option. David Cage, French, loves this sort of stuff. I wonder, I was only playing it because I remembered Beyond's coming out this year, so I thought I'd get it kind of fresh in my memory before I played Beyond.
Beyond
Two Souls. Yes.
Looks very good.
It does. And I've also, I've been playing the Hitman HD trilogy. I got, because that's going for cheap. And, some of those games are so hard, like the controls, but I mean, they sharpen up quite well. I mean, I've never been able, I owned both, I owned Contracts and Blood Money on the PS2. I'd never played Hitman 2. And, so that was the new experience, trying to work them out, because they're kind of like dark puzzle games, you know. Like Portal with murder, and then try and figure out how to get through a level. But you have to kill someone and get out. But yeah, they sharpen up quite well, especially Blood Money on the PlayStation, because it never came out this generation for the PlayStation 3, but it did for 360. So it's just a port of that. So it's nice, because that's one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 2.
Mm. What else? Is that all?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's it for me this week. So, what about you?
For me, I threw on the Unfinished Swan the other day, because I got it when we got it for, it was the 13 for 13 sale, and it was really cheap, and I picked it up, and I did the first level, and I thought it was pretty neat, but it was one of those where it's like, I'm not in a hurry to finish this. So I did the second chapter the other day, and it's really good. I really enjoy it.
So what do you do in that game? Just paint your way forward?
Paint, pretty much. Well, I mean, the first level, like, you're pretty much lost. Like, if you don't know what to do, like, just press L1, R1, or the triggers, because they all throw paint.
Right.
But the first one, like, you just see this blank white screen with, like, a little reticle in the center, and the whole world is blank. So you could, like, spin the stick around, and you'll just see white. You don't even know if you're moving. So when I started up, I was like, did I break the game?
Is it frozen reset console?
I'm sorry?
It's like, if you think it's frozen, you just reset the console.
I was like, oh no. What's going on?
So what happens if you paint it all black then?
That it's all black.
So then you would have to restart a lot.
A little bit. I mean, you'll kind of get the shape of things.
Right.
In the second level, though, you're kind of painting with water, and it's more like there's a lot of vines that you can throw water on, and it grows, and you can climb walls and whatnot. It's a really cool idea. And it makes, and like, there are balloons that you have to hit, and to get more upgrades.
Yeah. And
it makes it more fun, because it's kind of like the Blast Shards in Infamous. It's a collectible that you want to find, because it's kind of fun. So, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I like it, and I'll probably throw it on again. But like I said, it's one of those games where you're like, I'm not in a hurry. Like, I'll wait for a little while.
I've read a few reviews of that game, and a lot of them say it doesn't like develop on the ideas it makes. So, like, you're painting walls and then you flip to the next thing straight away without, going into anything interesting, like a Portal game.
Mm.
It, like, each place feels like the first level's a Portal, and then it moves on to a new thing instead of continuing it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first level was all paint. Like, you were painting everything black.
Yeah.
And then the second level, you were using water. So, and then this third level is like nighttime in the middle of the ocean or something.
So you don't think they'll come back to those ideas of paint and water then?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think I'd be bored if I had to paint like the entire time.
True,
although it would be nice to like switch around and be like, okay, now I got to paint this, or I got to put water here, or something like that. That would be kind of neat.
Some amalgamation of like all the things you've learned or something.
Amalgamation is a good word, and that's the word for the day.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna go back to that. I mean, it's only like 4 levels. So, I mean, it's got like 5 chapters in each, 5 or 6 chapters in each, so like, but still, it's like only collectively 4 big chapters.
So how much was the game?
I don't know how much it is right now, and as you know, listeners, my PlayStation right now, as of this recording, is having a hard time finding my IP address, so I can't actually get into the store, so I can't check how much Unfinished Swan is right now. But it's not on sale anymore, that much I know, because it was for the 13 for 13 sale. So, but I mean, if you want a short game and it's kind of artsy and it's nice and peaceful, play Unfinished One. It's nice.
Is it playable on Vita or is it just PlayStation 3?
I think it's just PlayStation 3.
Sounds like a good game that could run on the Vita.
I think it would be a great Vita game. I think it could make a great Vita game. What else have I been playing? I threw in a little Jack and Daxter just for a little bit.
Still the first one then, yeah.
Yeah, still the first one. I'm excited to get to Jack 2 because it's a little more linear and because I've never been much for like platforming and finding all these like different things, like you gotta find all the orbs and all that.
Yeah.
So,
I hate Jack 2 because it's got secret items, but some of them are missable. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that goes towards a platinum.
Well, probably. I'm gonna play it regardless, but I like a little more of a linear experience, but either way, I'm fine with it. I like it. I enjoy it. So I got a few more of the things. I don't remember what they're called. The little atom things.
I can't remember either. Power cells, I think?
No, the power cells. That's what they're called.
Something like that. Yeah. I know precursor orbs are the small things you pick up all the time. So there's secret items in Jack 2, but.
I got like maybe 3 or 4 power cells.
How many are there? It's like 120
or so. I don't know. There's a trophy for it.
The Unfinished Swan is about $15 on the PSN.
Yeah, it was like $7 during the sale.
Is it just PlayStation 3 then?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, just on PlayStation 3. Okay.
Yeah, strange move from Sony.
I also played Saints Row the Third. I've been playing a shitload of Saints Row. So much. I just can't get enough of it. Like I throw it in, I just play like for hours and hours, and I just love it. I
deleted my save on that, so it's hard to get back into. It's the worst because I got the platinum, and I want to try, playing the game with a different voice. Oh, I accidentally saved over my save.
Have you ever seen? This is great. I'm gonna plug this a little bit. There's a video, the Two Best Friends play videos.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Saints Row the Third video?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
They create this character. It's like this big fat purple woman.
Yeah.
And it's got like green hair with like in curlers, and they use the zombie voice. So in the game, every time like they say something to us, like Pierce is like, we gotta do something, and the character just goes, and they don't even like react. They just keep talking to it. It's so funny, but I love that game. I just finished Genki Bowl 7 DLC.
How was that?
That was fun. Oh man, I love Genki Ball so much. I missed one of the trophies though.
Oh, I really like the Professor Genki, what do you call it? The little side quests.
Yes, the ethical reality climax.
Yeah, fun time things. Yeah, I love those.
Fun time.
Yeah, I love them, but I didn't get any of the DLC. So,
oh man, I would say definitely pick it up because Genki Bowl 7 is great. It's so much fun, and I haven't played Gangsters in Space yet. I'm gonna wait on that, try to make it last. And The Trouble with Clones is really fun.
I'd say, without spoiling, I'd say wait for Gangsters in Space until after you complete the game.
Yeah, I was thinking I'd probably do that because I've only just finished Act 1 in the game, and I've already got both those other 2 DLCs done.
Have you done the Deckers Must Die mission?
I don't think so, not yet.
You're in for a treat when you do that. That's probably the best mission in the game.
I'm excited now.
Yeah.
The last game I've been playing, I played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops on my PlayStation Portable, my PSP.
Yeah.
I still rock that. And I finished it, and it's a decent game. It's one of those, you're like, oh, it's worth one play, but after that, you're like, I don't really care after that.
Yeah.
And then I started Peace Walker yesterday, and I'm enjoying it. I'm maybe halfway through Chapter 1. So.
Have you done all the little side operations?
No, I'm just going to do the story missions.
You're going to need to.
I'm going to need to.
What do you think about the sort of mother base aspect of the game.
Well, the thing about Mother Base is, Tom, you've never played Portable Ops, have you?
No, I haven't, no.
It's very similar to that. Like, you have to manage your teams and whatnot, all of that. It's a little more intricate in Peace Walker, but it's still kind of the same idea. Only now I have to take more care of it, because, like, I didn't really give a shit in Portable Ops.
Yeah, this time you have to, like, people will get angry. And they start fighting, so they get sent to the brig, which means you're a man down in this section, and if you don't have enough points, you can't upgrade certain items, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that platinum looks impossible, trophy-wise.
Oh, yeah, like I was looking at the trophy list, and Metal Gear Solid 3 is the only one in that HD collection that is even feasible.
Oh, have you played Metal Gear Solid 2 yet?
I haven't yet. I'm just, as you know, Alan, you don't know this, but Tom knows that what I'm doing is I'm playing Metal Gear Solid in a chronological order. So, like,
story-wise.
So, it goes 3, Portable Ops, Peace Walker, then the original Metal Gears, Solid 1, 2, 4, and Rising. So, I'm on Peace Walker right now, and I wish Ground Zeroes was closer, because that's supposed to come after Peace Walker, but just gonna have to.
Yeah, you're gonna or you'll definitely find Metal Gear Solid 2 interesting.
Oh no, I played 2 before, because like everybody was trying to sway me against that idea. They're like, no, play 1 and 2 first, and I did, but then I had this very long stretch of time before I ever started 3. So when I finally got around to it, I was like, now I'm just going to do it. So, so I have played 1 and 2, but it's been a very long time.
Yeah, they had dog tags in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, yeah. That's
like, you have to hold up people and get their dog tags. Yeah, you need to do that with every single NPC, like guard, on each difficulty as well. And then you have to do all the VR missions. They are impossible, those VR missions.
That's not happening. Like,
it's really not happening. I was like, I'm not.
maybe one day I will platinum Metal Gear Solid 3, but I'm not planning on it.
No.
One day I might be like, if I get close enough, if I'm like play 3 again and I get all the Karatans and whatnot, and I come to a point where I'm like, actually, all I need is like the Peace Walker trophy, then maybe I'll be like, okay, this is it, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
But, I'm not planning on it. I gotta be really close to the end of that trophy list before I even try.
Yeah.
So, that's all I've been playing. And that was a really long segment. So what we're going to do is we're going to just
fly through the plus deals.
Remember, listeners, if you renew your PlayStation Plus subscription between now and March 5th, you can get an extra 3 months free. And your PlayStation Plus subscription stacks. So if your Plus subscription doesn't end until like April, you're still going to get a year and 3 months from April, even if you renew right now. So, before you have to renew again. So, I would say definitely it's $50. Pick it up. It's a great deal. It pays for itself. In the American store, Vanquish. Here are the free PS Plus deals. First of all, in the North American store, Vanquish is a free PS3 game. I've never played it. I have no idea how to feel about it, so I don't know if I really want it or not.
It's an insane third-person shooter.
There's a demo on the store as well, so if you want to try it, because that's the only time I've ever played it.
I don't know how to feel about it, and I need to kind of keep some space open for BioShock, because when Infinite comes out, I reserved it, and I get the first BioShock free. So, Mega Man X Maverick Hunter is a free PSP game. PSP. They're still, I don't know, still PSP games. Vita is a year out, people. Dust 514, or Dust 514, I'm sorry. I've been used to calling it 514. Dust 514 Starter Pack is free on PlayStation Plus. There is a PS3 and PS Vita copies of Urban Trial Freestyle. Both are 20% off. PS3 is $11.99 and Vita is $7.99. And those are our PlayStation Plus deals for this week.
In the European store, just to mention that Flow, that's made by That Game Company, who brought us Flower and Journey. That's 50% off at the moment. Fat Princess as well, which is a Sony exclusive, like, multiplayer game, kind of like a Capture the Flag. But that's 50% off as well. And Dust 514 has a starter pack free for 2 weeks. And on the Vita, we have Lumen's Electronic Symphony, which is free for Plus users, and Capcom has released a free game for everyone, regardless of Plus or not, but that only comes with one game on it, and the rest are DLC. So that's it for our store anyway.
Don't forget that Crysis 3 is on the store for $59.99. Not a PlayStation Plus deal, but if you're more of a fan of digital downloads rather than retail copies, Crysis 3. Also, Skyrim DLC Hearthfire was released on PSN this Thursday, or last Tuesday, I'm sorry. And Dawnguard is next week, so Skyrim fans, if you want to jump on that, go for it.
Yeah, it's cheap for the first week.
Yeah, and and that week's almost up, so I'd pick it up.
Yeah, those kids need parents.
I messed up. Here we go. Now we're gonna run into the news. The big part of the show.
Oh wait, could I just bring up that bundle I talked about?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
For those who want to get it, there's a bundle available on the PlayStation Store for Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and the Season Pass. So you think, okay, that might be a good bundle. No, it's not. It's $99.99. So
Jesus Christ,
that's unreal. Yeah, want to pay?
Good luck with that.
Pay twice the amount of the game for DLC. Sounds good.
None of that. I'm alright. I'm alright. Okay, you guys ready for the news?
Yep.
I'm going to kick it off. For fans of Resident Evil Revelations, the once 3DS exclusive will come to Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii U on May 21st, which I believe, wasn't that the original release date for The Last of Us? So, there we go. Something. And I'm actually going to review Resident Evil Revelations because I'm a big Resident Evil fan, as you may know.
You think that'd be a download-only game?
I don't think so. I think it's going to get a retail copy, which will be good. Like, I like retail copies. I like a physical copy on my shelf. I've always said that it's kind of collection's kind of part of it for me. I love seeing them stacked next to each other on the shelf and whatnot. So, I don't know.
I don't know about you guys, but that new game smell.
Oh yeah. And the manual.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the most disappointing thing about this generation of the manuals. Like, especially with EA games, just slips of paper saying, give you health and safety, and then refer to the game for the rest of the controls, etc.
Yeah. Trying to be green, trying to save on paper.
That's rubbish. Save on money.
Yeah. A poster was leaked to Kotaku, and it claims that Watch Dogs, Ubisoft's open-world futuristic adventure about technology and hacking, will be released this holiday season. More on that later. More on this one later as well. Bungie's Destiny has finally been announced. A trailer was released, and there's not a whole lot we can really say about it. And this is my interpretation of the trailer, my personal interpretation. These are my words. It's set in space. It's in a city where war previously raged. Now their time of peace has come to an end. This is all me just like listening to the trailer and trying to figure out what exactly it's about because I have no idea. Strange and deadly creatures are trying to stamp them out for good, the people of the city. You are a guardian of the city, trying to save and protect it. And if you succeed, you are a hero. But if you fail, civilization crumbles. The trailer markets the game as, quote, the ultimate adventure that unfolds over the next 10 years, unquote, which originally I thought was like, oh man, this is going to be like, almost like like a retail game that is also an MMO. Like in some way that only, cooler because MMOs kind of suck. Where it just kind of like keeps updating itself over the next 10 years. But then somebody, I think it was Zach, had the foresight and was much smarter than me to point out that it's probably going to have sequels, and that's what it's going to be. So, I was a little
I don't know. It could be, kind of like PlanetSide 2.
Yeah. There is no release date yet for Bungie's Destiny, but a press release from Activision assures us that it will not be in 2013. So don't expect it this year. Tom, do you want to take these next couple?
Sure. Sony Computer Entertainment Japan president Hiroshi Kawano, sorry if I'm flat, but revealed that the PlayStation Vita would receive a price drop. Both models, the 3G and Wi-Fi, will now cost 19,980 yen. Shuhei Yoshida says there are no...
Yoshida.
Yeah, something like that. Says there are no plans to cut prices outside of Japan. So.
Which is so disappointing, because I really want to get a Vita before I get a PS4.
I think if they're cutting prices in Japan now, I think later along the line, probably E3, that'll be a big thing, because the Vita's not doing well, and Sony know that.
It needs a price cut.
Yeah, I mean, the press conference, just touched on it quickly, it's just they were pushing the Vita a bit. And it's just like, it's not selling it to anyone.
Yeah.
Character models for Final Fantasy X HD have been shown off for the Vita, marking the first time the remake has been seen in over a year.
Final Fantasy X with trophies, maybe. Now I'll actually finish it.
Oh. For the PC fans, if you liked Hotline Miami and really wish you could play it on your PS3 or Vita, you're in luck. It's publisher Devolver and developer D-Nation. Is it that? Or is it D-Nation?
I don't know. That's just what it's... I don't know how to exactly pronounce it. I've never actually heard it said.
No, neither. They both say the game's coming this summer.
Mark March 26th on your calendars for sure, because Irrational has announced that BioShock Infinite has gone gold, which means that it is ready to ship and ready to play. So that means it is the one game that I've reserved that will actually come out on time.
Well, it's been delayed already, though.
Well, I mean, it's been delayed like six different times. So I'm just glad that it's not getting delayed again.
In terms of Square Enix news, it's been confirmed that Murdered, Soul Suspect, will arrive early 2014 for 360, PS3, and PC.
Oh, yes. Nippon Ichi Software, NIS, is that, or NIS, I don't know which one it is bringing PS3 exclusive JRPGs, 3 PS3 exclusive JRPGs, to North America and Europe in 2013. The games are Disgaea Dimensions 2, A Brighter Darkness, which is a sequel to PS2's Disgaea Hour of Darkness. The second game is Time and Eternity, which boasts the claim of the first HD animation RPG, and it's about a young man who lives in a locale known as Kamza, K-A-M-Z-A, who is about to marry the princess of his kingdom, Toki. Unfortunately, Toki has an alter ego, Tawa, so I don't know. However, and this fact is at the center of the game's plot, so that should be interesting. And finally, the last game that they announced is the Guided Fate Paradox, which is a roguelike RPG described as the spiritual successor to ZHP, which I don't know what that is. But if you're a big fan of JRPGs and you like Disgaea and whatnot, then check those out, I guess, later on this year. Alan, you've been pretty quiet. Is there anything you want to say about these news stories before we move on to our topic of the week?
I, for one, am very excited to play BioShock Infinite.
I am too.
Definitely, yeah.
I've been looking forward to it since the first time it was announced. Since the first trailer came out, I was like, oh my god, I must have this game. And just been waiting for 2 years, I think.
Didn't they show some footage of the start of the game? I mean, I've not watched it because I don't want to spoil anything.
Not the start. There was a 13, 14, maybe 17-minute demo at E3. Not last year, but I think the year before. And that was very exciting. And that was the first footage that we really got from it. And that was before Elizabeth got kind of a different look before the final look.
Isn't she less busty now?
I think she's a little less busty, yes.
For people who can't wait that long, try playing Dishonored. It kind of feels like BioShock, even though it's not.
Mm-hmm.
We, if Josh will ever get it done, Josh, host of VGU.TV's Gamercast, if Josh will ever get it done, there is a video in his back end of, called Intoxigaming. You might recognize that name. We did, an Intoxigaming on Catherine, I think a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago. It was me, Josh, and a friend of ours named Jay, and we ordered pizza and had fun and drank a lot. And we played Catherine while we were very drunk. A while back, I think it was November, we played Dishonored for Intoxigaming, and we decided, we kind of made a game out of it. We went a little more with it, and what we do is our drink of choice is called an Irish Maiden, which we kind of made up on our own. It's a bottle of Jameson whiskey and cream soda. And we threw in Dishonored, and we decided we were going to make a little game out of it, and we were going to play it, and anytime somebody got caught, we would take a drink. So originally Josh was playing on normal, and this was not good enough for Jay because he wasn't getting caught. So he said, I want a drink! So we moved it up too hard, and we finished off that bottle pretty quick.
Oh, dear.
So if he ever gets it done, there's a stark difference between the first few minutes of the video and the last few minutes of the video. So I'm very excited for him to finally get it done. I'm going to get on his back again this weekend and be like, hey, finish that shit up. Because it's really funny. But that's something that we never know when we're going to see. So now maybe if any of you listeners are out there and you're like, man, that sounds awesome, now you can tweet at Josh at PackPunk, PACPUNK, and be like, hey, finish Intoxigaming.
The moment we've all been waiting for. The PlayStation 4 was announced on the 20th of February, and I'm sure a lot of you listeners watched it live, or if not, have seen the big things that come out of it.
Yeah.
So,
it's very exciting.
Just a bit.
There is no set date or price, but we are still excited.
I don't even know what it looks like.
I don't even know what it looks like. The only thing we know is what the dashboard looks like and what the controller looks like.
Yeah.
Lead system architect Mark Cerny came out and he said that it is, quote, like a PC, but supercharged, unquote, which a lot of people are like getting on, like, Sony's basically developing a PC, and it's like, who gives a shit? It's it's a new console, and I want it.
And of course, it's going to be optimized anyway. I mean, they have to make this hardware stretch for a 6-year lifespan, because they need to make, it needs to be profitable. So I'm sure it will produce more than you'd think out of that.
Now,
the hardware shown. Now,
I'm going to read this next bit, and just know that while I'm reading it, I have no idea what I'm saying because it all sounds like gibberish to me. But I don't know if you guys know anything about PCs or CPUs or whatnot, but maybe you'll be able to explain it to me. PS4 uses the x86 CPU and has 8 gigabytes of memory. I know what that means. And a local hard drive. The console uses APU technology and GDDR5 memory, which Sony says is typically reserved for, quote, top-of-the-line, high-end graphics cards, unquote. What does any of that mean?
I think with the RAM, they originally, I think there was leaked about 4 gigabytes of it, and now it's gone to 8 gigabytes post the 360 Durango leak. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people are already defending PlayStation when it's 4 gigabytes, and like the RAM they're using is more optimized. I mean, it's more performance driven, so it's already better. So 8 gigabytes, I think it's more than enough.
Well, I do hope we get more, because I mean, 8 gigabytes is good for launch, but I mean, you'll eventually have to replace that hard drive.
Well, it's not hard drive. This is just RAM. So this is.
Oh, that's just RAM?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad then. Okay.
I remember reading somewhere recently that it's not I don't think it's like really 8 gigabytes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like what Sony wants what their goal is.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I think they changed it from what they originally intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PS4 has a secondary chip for uploading and downloading in the background. And digital games can be played as they're being downloaded, which is awesome. That means you don't have to wait until everything is downloaded and installed before you can play it. You can download in the background and actually play the game as it's being downloaded.
I'm skeptical about this, to be honest, because
I don't know how that's going to work. You know, what I mean,
exactly. Think of the people who live in areas where they have low connection speeds. I mean, even if it's not downloading the whole game, I can't imagine they can download enough for you to play it as soon as you want. And I'd be impressed if they can, but I want to see evidence of this.
I mean, we'll see more as time wears on. You can upload gameplay sessions in real life seamlessly. This is new, and this is really cool. Like, you can, it features integrated chat. Players will have profile pages, much like Facebook. Uploading gameplay sessions, so basically, like, if you're, like, on a real cool run of Watch Dogs or something,
yeah,
there's a little share button on the PlayStation controller, which we're about to talk about. So, like, if you're on a real good run of Watch Dogs, you're like, I want to share this level with the community. You just kind of record the session and then just hit the share button, and there it goes. It's on your page, and people can watch it and be like, oh man, this guy really sucks at Watch Dogs, or
About sharing?
Yeah, that's what we got. That's the last thing I heard.
Oh, that's the last thing you were talking about.
And I was so glad you did not say Call of Duty, because if you said that, I would have probably thrown myself out a window, because that has been overused so much.
No, sorry about that, listeners. We had a little bit of a jump in our audio recording. A little difficulty from
We are having technical difficulties.
But what I was saying was basically, like, you got the Watch Dogs going on, and you're like, oh, I'm having a good run. I'm going to share this with my community and put it on my Sony page, which is much like Facebook. So you just kind of record your session, and then you press the share button on your controller, and you're like, all right, there it goes. And people can go onto your page, check out your video, and watch your run, and be like, oh, this guy's really good at Watch Dogs, or hey, man, this guy really sucks, which is like how everybody acts on the internet. But, you know, it's kind of an interesting thing. And I was going to run into the...
You could also stream stuff too, right? On Ustream?
Yes, we're going to get to that in just a few minutes. Just a second.
A little bit later, folks.
Just a little bit later. You're getting overzealous, Al. Calm down. The new controller was unveiled. We talked a little bit about this. It features touch input and a light bar. End quote. I don't know what a light bar is. They didn't really say much about it.
It sounds a lot like, you know, how the PlayStation Eye tracks the Move controller using the light at the moment. That's how I think. That's what that means at the moment.
It's also like for the 5 people who have a Wii U's, it's like with the gamepad, it has to be in like the range of the sensor bar. For it to
didn't they say something about distinguishing between players, so who's player 1 and 2, and etc. So it might be color coded as well.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sorry, excuse me. Yeah, this is good, because my stream kept interrupting and jumping, because my internet was just not cooperating yesterday. So if I have any holes, you go ahead and fill them in. A light bar. There's also a share button, which we just talked about.
Yeah.
It lets players upload videos easily at any time. And the controller also has a headphone jack and interacts with a stereo camera.
That sounds like they're copying 360 with their... I think they're going to include some sort of basic headset with the controller.
More importantly...
That's nice, because I have a really shitty Bluetooth, and I'd rather not ever use it again.
But more importantly,
like hurts my ear.
They did not get rid of DualShock.
No.
Thank God.
Thank goodness, yeah. That was the problem with the start of the PlayStation 3, is they released 6-axis controller without DualShock, but that was due to
controller, I believe, has been confirmed as a DualShock 4 controller.
Yeah, they controlled it. I was glad they didn't make that mistake, but I mean, the reason it happened this generation is because there was a patent dispute with the creators of the DualShock and Sony, and that's why the original PlayStation 3 controllers didn't have them. But yeah, I'm glad it's back.
Yeah. Let's see. Now on to the Gaikai talk.
Oh, wait, we haven't talked about the touchpad on the DualShock either.
Oh.
DualShock 4.
Oh, that's right. I don't think I have that on here.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the touchpad talk about on the stream. So if you've got stuff on that.
Well, they only announced that it was in fact the touchpad. That's what the weird center block is on the controller. Oh. But they didn't mention what it'd be used for exactly. I mean, I'm sure it'll have. I'm not sure how the Vita uses it because I don't own one myself, but I'm sure it'll have similar functionality, if not something on just the cross-media bar.
Right. Do you want to talk about the Gaikai stuff?
Yeah, we should. Touch on that. I think they said.
Now remember that I wrote this, and I have no idea exactly what Gaikai is. I don't, so fill in any holes, because these are my words that I wrote down that Tom's about to check out and paraphrase. So,
yeah,
I'm not a technical genius. I don't know exactly what it means. All right, go ahead, Tom.
Oh, me. Gaikai is integrated with the PlayStation 4, and it will power the PlayStation's cloud service, much like, save your PlayStation saves on the cloud with the Plus service at the moment. And it's going to allow you to explore any PlayStation 4 game, so that's what we're talking about with being able to, have a sneak peek at games on, like you would a demo. But Sony has to be partnering with Ustream, so the streams.
Tom, come closer to the mic. I'm losing you for a second. There you go.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yay for technology.
Yes.
Dial back before Ustream.
Okay. Sorry. So yeah, I was just going to say. The Gaikai is going to allow you to look at games before you play. It's kind of like a demo, except for it's going to be supposedly instantaneous, so you can experience it straight away. Mm-hmm. Have a little trial. It's also going to be they're going to partner. Gaikai and Sony have a partnership with Ustream now. So that's much like a Twitch.TV, so a live streaming service, so you can look at players.
Which will make VGU plays and live streams much easier.
Yeah, it's going to be very friendly to us, but it's also going to make it a more competitive atmosphere, surely. But
two things. This sort of it's pretty simple to see that it's pretty much an extension of the time trials that they have for PlayStation Plus members.
Yeah, and the hour-long demo, but except for you don't have to download a 15 gigabyte.
And also, fun fact, Gaikai was started by Dave Perry, who did Toe Jam and Earl. Or no.
Toe Jam and Earl?
No, not Toe Jam and Earl. Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
Yep.
Earthworm Jim is a great game. I never could beat it on my Sega Genesis, but I did manage to beat it when it came to Xbox.
They also, when they talk about Gaikai, they were talking about a gaming Facebook. So not exactly Facebook, but it seems to sound like a face. They're partnered with Facebook, but not on your normal account. So it sounds like a gaming version of it. But they weren't clear during the press conference. So
pretty much, PlayStation 4 is its own social network.
Yeah.
What else about Gaikai? You can interact. Your friends will be able to interact with you. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering all over the place. Your friends will be able to interact with you by posting comments to your screen as you play, or even providing in-game help. Which we were talking about that earlier, and Josh was saying that people are going to start charging for platinum.
Yes, I agree with you. They said they could, you could take over another person's game.
Yeah.
For health and stuff. I mean, I could.
They're going to be like, I'll get you that platinum for $50.
Exactly. That's what I thought would be happening when they mentioned that as well.
Now, I'm not cool with that. Like, I'm okay with a little help here and there, like maybe a tip. Like, I go on to PlayStation Trophies or PS3Trophies.com for tips and whatnot, but my platinums I get on my own.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only help I get. Are tips or videos or stuff like that. I never hand the controller off to somebody else.
Well, I think they could, kind of deal with that with, how you enter cheats in some games. Activating cheats will disable trophies. I mean, they could do something similar, like getting outside help with disable trophies, something like that. But when they mentioned that, I thought of Dark Souls. I think, there could be some implications. I think depending on how much freedom developers are given, they could integrate that system into as a gameplay mechanic. So, other players could curse you and take control of your character for a limited time or something weird like that. I think that'd be interesting, but depends how much freedom developers are given.
Yeah. Sony plans to gradually allow backwards compatibility via streaming. Now, speaking of backwards compatibility, unfortunately, both digital and retail PS3 games are not playable on PlayStation 4.
No!
That's extremely disappointing. I'm so surprised they didn't get at least PSN games.
I was arguing with Sunday yesterday. I was just like, I don't understand. If the PlayStation 4 can play Blu-rays, why can't it play PlayStation 3 games?
It's because PlayStation 3 has proprietary tech, and the new console is completely different, so it's not going to be running on the same hardware. And that's why the PlayStation 3 was harder to code for, because it wasn't compatible with anything else. And, I think that's why they've run into that issue, and that's why they've invested in Gaikai, and they're hoping they can do that in the future, which doesn't show a lot of confidence in that company.
So,
my thing is, remember when they did this whole thing happened, 6-7 years ago? When the PS3, they were like,
it can't play PS2 games, what the fuck?
Well, they said they could. That's the thing, and they managed to get it.
They did for, the older consoles, but
the 60 gig, the launch 60 gigabyte,
But
I have one of those.
Their main reason for not having backwards compatibility was they didn't want you to play your PS2 games. They wanted you to buy PS3 games and get that ball rolling.
They were basically saying old game is old.
So yeah, pretty much.
This means that none of your PlayStation 3 discs are going to work on PlayStation 4. So you're either going to sell your PlayStation or you're going to have to tuck it away somewhere else. I've already moved my system up so I can make a room next to my TV for PlayStation 4.
I'm kind of screwed because I have, right in front of me, I have my PS2, my PS3, and my 360. And I have a feeling my 360 won't be there that much longer with the PS4 coming.
Well, I already sold my 360 because really, who needs it?
But to be fair, mine is the Halo Reach Special Edition.
Okay, well, if you got a collector's edition, then it's kind of harder to let go. But mine was one of those old white ones. Also, as far as digital goes, that means that Journey, Unfinished Swan, Shatter, Flower, Flow, all those games.
Dead Nation.
That's any PSN game. I think that they should have thought about that, especially for PSN exclusives. I think.
Well, those games were made for PS3, and as you just said, the PS3 has different hardware.
I know, but that's that's different because it's not. Right off of the disc, hard, and it's not as big. So.
It sucks, but more room for your PlayStation 4 games on your hard drive.
This is true. They didn't explicitly announce either. I noticed during the press conference whether your your PlayStation accounts. I'm sure they will, but they didn't say whether your PlayStation accounts would carry over. So your trophies, etc.
I'm pretty sure they will. If they don't,
that's what I mean.
Oh man, I'll have such a fit.
Because I wrote down before the conference, trophies and account, say yes or no next to. And
I don't know if you.
I listened out for it, but I don't remember hearing a bit about it.
I don't know if you saw it during the conference, but when they're showing one of the guys' profiles, they did have a trophy level.
Oh, you're right, actually. They did, yeah.
They did have a trophy.
And it was high level, actually, yeah.
It had multiple platinums and stuff.
True.
I would say if you can sync your trophies with your Vita, there should be no reason that you couldn't with a PlayStation 4. So, I mean, if I fire up my PlayStation 4 and connect all my stuff in and put my info in so I can be on my own account, and my trophies aren't there, I'm gonna go absolutely insane because I love my trophies so much. Level 16, 18 platinums. 10%. Netflix and Amazon instant video services are going to return to the PS4, as well as other applications, Crackle, Crunchyroll, Facebook, NHL, MLB.TV, and Cinema Now. PlayStation Plus and Video Unlimited services will also return. So,
what about YouTube?
No word on YouTube or Hulu Plus.
With YouTube, I think they're going to continue a partnership, a relationship, especially with the sharing concept.
I have a feeling they're going to both Hulu and YouTube are going to partner with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if that happens.
I would hate that.
Yeah.
Because then I would not be able to watch Hulu Plus anywhere except my phone. So that would really suck. Because
or you could just fire up your PS3 and watch Hulu Plus.
Plug both in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Could do that. Be a pain in the ass. Pick up my remote. Go to HDMI 1.
Be worth it then.
Pain in the dick. Now, here's the part of the show where we're going to get to the part of the topic of the week, I should say, where we're going to get to the part where you really want to hear.
Video games.
The games that were announced for the PlayStation 4. First off was Knack, which I couldn't give a shit about.
I was going to say, yeah, I was completely disappointed in that. For the first
they showed
it was bad first impressions.
What was that game for the Vita? The one with all the little monsters that pretty much just it was just a game for kids where if you no, it was the other one. I don't remember what it was called. It was some launch game, and there was it had a bunch of monsters, and there was one game where you could tap the monsters. They were in this big old house. They would pop out of the windows, and you tap their faces and whatnot. I don't remember what it was, but it was basically a game to teach you how to use your PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
It made full use of the sticks and the touchscreen and the touchpad. Knack came off as one of those kinds of games where it was just this will teach you how to get used to your PlayStation 4 or something.
I just saw it and I was like, really? This is how you're going to launch the system with a game that looks like it can run on this generation? And I mean, they showed it working with the Vita. I think they used that game to showcase that the Vita could be used much like a Wii pad, Yeah, well, more like you can use it as a controller with the TV on a different channel. I mean, that was a smart thing, but I don't think they showcased that well enough. It made it look like, it can run on both, and I just looking at it, it just looked really disappointing. I mean, my notes here say Knack looks cack, which it didn't look anything next gen at all.
Man, Knack was the first game announced for PS4, and it is an action platformer that you can also play on Vita, as Tom meant. Knack is a small creature created to win a war against a goblin army, and can change forms, including size and state. And to this I reply with a resounding who gives a shit.
Yeah.
Tom, do you want to take the kill zone?
I will. Can I just mention, we didn't mention in hardware, there's a suspend and resume function for PlayStation 4, which means, you can put your PlayStation in a kind of sleep mode. So, instead of, pause the game if you're going off for just like half an hour or something, or, 10 minutes, you put your PS3 off into a suspended mode. Where
Isn't there a remote thing as I'm sorry, go on. There's a remote thing, though, about the mobile thing, too, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so as well. I can't see that. But on mine it says, so for suspend and resume, it's just a fast on and off, come back to where you were without having your PS3 properly on. So kind of like when you close your laptop, kind of like a sleep mode, it sounded like. So I thought that was quite good. But yeah, just want to say about that mobile thing.
I didn't write it down. So if you have notes on it, all I know is that there's something about mobile connectivity where you could access your system via your mobile device.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. I think it sounds more like I'm not sure whether you could stream gaming, but I think you could interact with gaming things such as your PlayStation cross media bar type thing. I think you could it would interact with that. They're kind of like Facebook games that interact with PlayStation games as well. I think it's just act like that. You can do stuff while not actually at your PlayStation, because they want you to use your PlayStation all the time. So, yeah. So Killzone.
We were talking about Killzone. Go ahead.
Yeah, Killzone. So I thought, Killzone Shadowfall is what its name is, and it's the Helghast fight for the right to survive, and the war devastating planets, and the state of the feud has been compared to the Cold War Berlin. I thought this game harkened back to Killzone 1 storyline. If anyone played it, I did, because I quite like the original Killzone.
I played the first mission, and I was like, this isn't bad. And then I played the second mission, and died. I got halfway through the mission, died, went back to the beginning of the mission. I was like, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, I didn't blame you. That game's more it looks pretty nothing. But the story in that game was actually quite good compared to the next, the sequels. The Killzone 1 was more like Helghast, were kind of beaten in a war, kind of kicked out, but they had a right to live, and the Vectans, which is the other faction, it's just no. You're outsiders now, we're not letting you. So they kind of exiled them to a world where they all had breathing problems, and it made them lose their hair, etc.
So really, the Helghast
they're more like victims in the first
They're
game.
the victims. And you're pretty much playing the bad guys.
Exactly. And you kind of
quick question.
Yeah?
Thomas, are you a Helghast or Vecta guy?
Well, it depends. I say Helghast because they kind of look cooler, even though... But, yeah. They're presented as space Nazis, but if you play the original games, they're more like victims.
I'm pretty sure they're actually British.
Oh dear.
That's why I asked the question.
They do have those accents, yes.
As much as I don't like the Killzone, I just couldn't get into it. But as much as I don't like it, I will admit, those games are very pretty. Yeah,
that's what I think. That's why Sony keep getting them to create exclusives, because they really get the most out of the hardware in terms of visuals. They need someone from Naughty Dog to teach them how to tell a story and do some gameplay. But apart from that, those games do look amazing. Killzone 2, that came out years ago, and that's still one of the best looking games on the console.
And when I watched the stream, I was watching it in 480p because I was trying not to get a choppy signal.
Yeah.
So it didn't really look special to me. But then I rewatched it and I was like, wow, that demo looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to play it because I'm just not into it.
I was going to say I didn't get Killzone 3, and looking at the demo, it looked good, but visually, but gameplay wise, meh. It's just Call of Duty in space. But I thought with this game, they got rid of the grittiness that the previous games had. It looked very clean throughout, kind of Ratchet and Clank style clean.
Yeah.
It
was kind of different. I haven't seen a whole lot of Killzone. Mm. All I know of Killzone 2 is the first couple of maps where it's very gray. And all I know of Killzone 3 is that there's snow. Yeah. And that's based off of the cover.
I have a feeling they're going... Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. This game, the demo, it would look like a city and urban environment, and it was sunny. It was different. It was a new climate that I'd never seen before, and kind of a new light to throw on Killzone, which made it look much prettier.
Yeah.
So, what were you going to say, Thomas?
I was going to say, because if you saw the end of the demo, it showed like a big wall dividing, the Vectans and the Helgen on this planet. And I think what they're going to do tonally is Vecton's going to be this nice clean. I mean, you saw these buildings made of, mostly glass, mirrored glass. And then you saw over the wall, we got a sneak peek, and it showed some sort of industrial kind of, some sort of Iron Age kind of society. And I thought, I think that's how they're going to handle it. I think it's going to start off kind of looking clean, like it did in the demo, and then it's going to progressively get darker and darker and grittier back into where the original Killzone games were.
So it's going to go from looking like Manhattan to looking like Jersey.
Yeah, pretty much.
Evolution Studios came out next, and they showed off Drive Club, which is a first-person driving game in which you will drive in clubs against other clubs. So you're not just driving by yourself and racing other people. You have a team of people, apparently.
Yeah.
Is what I got from it. I had kind of an accent. But the cars have been recreated with real-world details to look as realistic as possible. They've gone crazy over. There were designs in the seams of the seats, the tires, the tire treads, the grills, the floor mats, the gear shift was all leather. I don't know. I was kind of half paying attention to that, but I mean, because I was also trying to take notes and write the article, but I didn't see a whole lot of it. But I did notice that there was a lot of close attention to detail.
Was anyone else surprised it wasn't Gran Turismo?
I was
a little surprised.
I really thought when they said licensed vehicles, I really thought it was Gran Turismo, and I wonder whether Gran Turismo has ceased to be a franchise after that, because Sony, always show off their Gran Turismos, especially in the visual department. Yeah. But that guy on that stage, I mean, he sure loved cars.
That Southern, I believe, was his name.
Oh.
He was all over them cars.
Yeah, it's a bit more disturbing at points. But yeah.
He mentioned that it's first person because he wants the player to feel like they would if they were actually driving that car.
Well, they even showed them buckling seatbelts.
Yeah, getting into the car.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you are just going all out. I'm not gonna buy it. I mean, it's a racing game. Well, that's what it boils down to. And the only racing game I really liked was Burnout Paradise and Split Second. So
I mean, it's like Gran Turismo. I think it's a game for car enthusiasts made by car enthusiasts. So.
Right. So I mean, I'm not planning to get that one. But I am gonna get this next one. Sucker Punch to the stage and revealed their next game. And yes, it is an Infamous title. It is called Infamous Second Son, and it is set in a lockdown Seattle under heavy surveillance because there are a bunch of conduits and whatnot, and they're trying to keep an eye on them. This is 7 years after the events of Infamous 2, and the protagonist is not Cole McGrath, unfortunately. It's this new kind of cocky kid, Deslin Rowe. He's the new protagonist, and he has the power to manipulate and become smoke. The trailer was pretty cool. There was this announcement going off over the city, over and over again. It was kind of, what was it, where the DUP is in control of the situation. So it was something along the lines of that.
Yeah, I thought, during the lead up to that game, I thought it was the Watchdog announcements talking about the Big Brother state.
I did too. But, then what happened? I'm trying to recall the trailer. And then, the guards were going crazy, like smoke was happening all over the place. Smoke vaguely in the shape of a person. And then, Deslin, beating the shit out of everybody, and then finally he grabs, I think, a camera. I only watched it once, so I don't remember exactly, but he grabs a camera, and he looks into it, and he says, "You are not in control." It's like, "Infamous Second Son." I was like, "I want this game!" So it does look really cool. I'm a little disappointed that it's not Cole, but I mean, if you play Infamous 2, Cole's story is pretty much done.
I'm more disappointed that Sucker Punch aren't creating a new IP for a new generation. I'd rather see them create something different. I mean,
I would like to see what they want to do.
I mean, they created a great cartoon, the Sly games 1 to 3. I mean, they were great, especially 2. And then, this generation, Infamous 1 and 2, they're great games. I mean, I'd rather see them create something new than create a spin-off.
The closest thing that you're getting is a spin-off. Yeah, it's not a new IP, but it is a new character, and it's, we take what we can get, and it looks good. So,
Fair enough.
Another game that I'm definitely going to get as soon as it comes out. Ubisoft's Watch Dogs. We talked about Watch Dogs more earlier. A stellar open world adventure about hacking technology. We've only seen one trailer at E3 last year. And it's confirmed as a PS4 game. A new gameplay demo was shown off at the conference, and it looks really cool. I actually snapped a lot of screenshots. I'm actually looking through them right now to kind of describe them. There was... Hold up. Here we are. There was a shot I grabbed of guy, I don't remember his name. He's checking his phone, and one of these guys that's sitting on the street is highlighted, and behind his back it says he was an Iraq war veteran. He's 43 years old. He's unemployed.
Yeah, has no income. Yeah,
he has no income. His name is Marcus Rhodes. It's a really cool idea. I've got a few more. I'm trying to just pick out the good ones. He hacks an ATM.
Well, he has it. Well, the guy next to him, he sees him some sort of aid worker, and he sees he has loads of money. After seeing the homeless. Yeah, so he hacks the aid worker's account and takes that guy's money.
Yeah. And then he chases this guy who was having an argument with a woman. He chases him, climbs a fence, slides over cars' hoods, takes him down. I got a pic of him taking him down.
Yeah.
I got a picture of the car when he shoots a car and it goes flying in the air. I've got that like halfway in the air.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I've got a picture of him aiming at the wheel of another car, and then a picture of him. He jumps onto this train to get away from the police, and like I've got a picture of him on the train and it says identity confirmed, and then a picture of him like riding away on the train, and then the Watch Dogs thing.
With that demo, it showed, the CCTV camera just before the end of the demo saw him on a train, and it looked like the mission failed or something, and it had it looked like another player's like a PSN ID over the camera when that happened. I wasn't sure about that.
I don't know. I didn't catch that. I'm gonna have to watch it again now. But oh my god. Watch Dogs looks so amazing.
It looks amazing. It's a great idea. I think I'm glad there's something fresh coming out of this generation. Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that that's a launch title, because that would be, in a perfect world, if all of these are launch titles.
I'm going to say, I don't think the car game will be.
I don't know if the car game will be. But let's just speculate if all of these were launch titles, except for Destiny. You have Killzone, people are going to flock to Killzone.
Yeah.
Infamous, people love Infamous. People love cars. Watch Dogs is gonna be this new IP that everybody is like clamoring over because they really want to play it. Open world, hacking, technology, amazing. It looks amazing. If that's a launch game, that's going to be a really strong launch for the PlayStation 4.
It's going to be a much stronger launch than the PlayStation 3. I mean, remember that game, in the US at least, only came out with Ridge Racer 7 and Resistance Fall of Man.
And Resistance was not a good game. Like Josh and I played it once. It was not very
good. I didn't mind it. I think the online was great. 20v20 on a Manchester map, playing, sniping, one-hit kill.
Well, we were just not fans of the story, at all.
I know. I was disappointed because it's Insomniac, and I love their games. They should have come up with a Ratchet & Clank game as a launch instead of a shooter. One more thing about Watch Dogs. Do you know when he was following that woman before she got mugged for the crime? there's like a probability counter. It showed like a percentage, and it kept going up and going up. And it's kind of like a Minority Report. Like you could predict the crime was happening because of her proximity to a character with a criminal record.
Oh wow!
I thought that was really. I thought that's really clever, and I want to know whether that was a scripted event or whether that's part of the storyline. I'm sure for the demo it was scripted, but I thought that was a really clever detail. Yeah,
that game just gets cooler and cooler with every little nuance and detail. I must have it.
It does look really deep. Yeah.
Blizzard came up next on the stage, and everybody. I remember everybody was in this chat was really like, what's Blizzard going to talk about? What's Blizzard doing here? Even the guy like himself was like, I bet you're all wondering why I'm here. He came up on the stage to announce, and it was very underwhelming, to announce that Diablo 3 is coming to PlayStation 3 and 4.
Yeah.
The port is based off the PC version and includes the recent upgrades, including Paragon leveling and new legendary weapons. It was very underwhelming. I'm not much of a Blizzard guy. A lot of people are, but
me neither.
I mean, that's much like the Wii U. Like they're like Mass Effect's coming out on the Wii U, Batman Arkham City's coming out on the Wii U. It's like, who cares? I already have it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this felt like. It's like PC users are like, what's Blizzard doing here? What's like Diablo 3 is coming? Who cares? I already have it. I've already played it. Josh was the only one that was he was still underwhelmed. It was like, whatever. I'll play it for trophies. So,
I didn't actually play the full game. I just remember previewing it for previewing the beta for Place I was working at a while back. And it seemed interesting. Like I never played Diablo 1 or 2. I have Diablo 1, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But
I'm not a fan of Blizzard. I'm not a fan of Diablo or StarCraft, or I don't even know if StarCraft is Blizzard. But any of those games like that, Warcraft, not very good. Not very good at it. I'm not good at strategy games or RTSs or whatever. So I couldn't give a shit less. More on Diablo 3. It will feature couch co-op without split screen. More details, as well as a playable demo, will be revealed during PAX East next month in March. Again, we mentioned earlier that there was more on Destiny. Not a whole lot to say, but I wanted to hold off all PS4 talk until now. Just wanted to mention Destiny is also coming to PlayStation 4. So,
and the 4 guys from Bungie came out. They just looked lost out there.
The 4 guys from Bungie came out and they showed nothing.
they showed nothing. Yeah, they showed. I think they showed. They must have shown a trailer or something. But
there was some short gameplay of the world.
Yeah, they showed that shot of the big ass fucking circle. And then they're like, Destiny's coming to PlayStation 4! We're so excited! And then they left.
Yeah, and I noticed in the trailer they showed, Master Chief in, their offices, so I think they're going to show the same thing at the Xbox conference.
Now, Tom, as you know, I didn't get every piece of info. You were taking more notes than I were.
Yeah.
I missed a few things. Will you please fill in my holes?
Well,
that could have been said better. Please fill in the holes. Fill in the gaps here.
My pleasure. But with Little Big Planet developers Media Molecule, I'm not sure. I didn't write down the name if they announced one. They announced some sort of clay creation using. They showed at least just the move. They kind of created things freehand using their PlayStation Iron Move. It's kind of like you draw a picture, doodle in real life kind of thing, a 3D model, and then you drop it into a world. But they weren't clear whether... Oh. Hello?
Yep.
That's gone.
Does this happen a lot on the show?
No, I think, and just this week, it's not usually happened. I think it's Matt's at the moment. We'll just carry on talking. Alright. No, I don't know. I think because Matt uses a mobile phone or something. Are you back, Matt? Matthew?
Hello?
Yeah.
Right, let's start now.
Okay, you're back.
Okay, cool.
Okay, hold on. Let me look. Yeah, hour 31 over here.
Hour 31.
Having a hard time over here. Okay. Let's get back to we were talking about the Media Mock.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a 3D doodle using your move remote, and it kind of like a sculpting program with an infinite amount of clay. I think they described it you could could create anything and drop them into the environment. But what they showed is, I'm not sure, they didn't explain it clearly what the gameplay would be, but they showed like a puppet show using kind of dancing using the move remotes and then music. But it looked, obviously what they were the music they were making using the move remotes wasn't one-to-one, so how that's done I'm not sure, but that's something to look out for. I mean, Media Molecule pretty much secured the success of PlayStation during that year. I mean, it became their mascot, the Sackboy. It's incredibly creative, so I'm sure it's going to be great, but what that game actually is, I'm not sure.
Now, I know that Square Enix took the stage at one point.
Yes, they did.
I don't know what they talked about.
Oh, yeah.
I know that there was some, on the screen there was some old man, and he was kind of eerie looking. He had a big nose, and long hair.
I think you're I think that's no. I think that you're confusing that with the, David Cage.
That was David Cage.
Yeah.
Square Enix and David Cage both took the stage. Sorry. That was when my internet cut out really bad.
Alright. So it was I can't remember, it's Final Fantasy, the Square Enix came on Final Fantasy, what was it, Firstborn or something weird like that?
Firstborn. Can you just stop with that and just jump ahead to 15? Let's just go to that.
Jump ahead to 15.
Jump ahead to 15. Nobody cares about Lightning anymore.
Right.
This whole Lightning Returns thing. I mean, I'm going to play it because I've already got 13 too, so I might as well.
This does look like a new Final Fantasy, but I mean, it's a typical, we're in the slums, it looks like, some different era, but then it zooms out and, there's a metropolis, but I mean, there's magic. I mean, she gets shot with some AKs, she does some dusty, she turns to dust and does some surgery on herself.
Here's a question. Where is Versus 13?
It's not coming. It's just it's not coming.
It's funny though. We talked about this, I think it was last week, or the week before. We talked about this, and we thought that, it was last week, because we had that, update on The Last Guardian.
Oh yeah.
We thought that, The Last Guardian was going to make a appearance at the Sony conference.
It's not.
It didn't.
I think that game must be dead. I mean, if they're going to release it on the PlayStation 3, and they haven't announced it now, it's either they're waiting for E3 or it's dead. I can't imagine they can revive that project.
Unless they're just like, no, we're moving it to PlayStation 4 now.
I'm sure Sony's not happy, regardless.
Oh, I'm sure they're not. They're just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Like, this is what we get for giving artists freedom.
I imagine every 6 months a representative from Sony comes into like Team Ico's offices and is like, what the fuck's going on with The Last Guardian?
I'm sure these past years have just been coming into the offices and just sighing, just going,
can you give me a percentage? They're like, still 30%. I'm like, what does that mean?
To be fair, Eco was in development for the PS1. It took so long that they just ended up pushing it to the PS2.
This is true, but I mean, after the two successes, I from the beginning of the generation, that was pretty much announced, and it's taken this long. That's at the start of this generation. That's how much money must have gone into that project.
Seriously. Team Ico has gone an entire generation console generation without making a game. Making one game.
No, a whole generation.
It's still not done.
Oh.
That's ridiculous. We've heard more on Final Fantasy Versus 13 than we have on The Last Guardian. And that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
We only have that one trailer to go on.
Next to them, it's like rare, right?
Yeah. It's very rare. I mean, I wanted to play it. Now I'm just like, I could give a shit less of it.
Same, exactly. I loved Shadow of the Colossus, one of my favorite games of all time. And,
Shadow of the Colossus is an amazing game.
And, they showed that trailer, like, awesome, they're making the game, and, it's been that long, it's just whatever. I don't believe
I mean, the first time I watched the Last Guardian trailer, I like, kind of teared up, because I was like, this is really beautiful, and I really want to play this. And that was, like, originally the game where I was like, man, I really definitely gotta get a PS3.
I'm not going to believe that game's coming out until I'm feeding the disc into my console.
Seriously.
But also...
even after you put the disc in, it's just like, surprise! Not really.
Yeah, to be announced. But Capcom released a trailer of a fantasy game. Did you talk about that?
No.
I was actually just about to bring that up.
Yeah, was it the Panta Ray engine? I think they announced. I'm not sure what they said it was a new IP, because I thought it might have been a Dragon's Dogma after they said that.
Well, the working title is Deep Down, and it looked a lot like Dragon's Dogma.
Same, yeah, I thought that exactly. But they kept saying the new IP.
The new engine is Panta Ray is just a code name right now, so
yeah,
could be anything.
But I thought that looked probably one of the best things shown during the conference. I thought that game.
I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to check that out again. I think I missed that whole thing. I probably missed that whole thing right there.
Yeah, that looked like kind of like an animated movie. It was that good. Whether that was actual gameplay, so that was really good. Sure, there's something else.
David Cage came up on
stage. That's it. Yeah.
Nice rhyme there.
Yeah. So,
some old man wrinkly. That's it.
So, speaking of David Cage and Quantic Dream, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, is Beyond Two Souls going to be a PS4 game? No, it's still a PS3 game. It's still coming.
PS3, yeah. I think it's
still coming, I think, this summer. There's no, like, set release date or anything like that, but it's still coming this summer, I believe, is the window. So
I think it's just another tech demo like they did with the robot and the original before Heavy Rain. That video of that girl with the gun crying.
Yeah. Before Heavy Rain. I think it's just one of those, this is what the hardware can do. Yeah, the car demo was really good. Like, I actually teared up when I watched the car demo. Yeah. Especially when she was like, I'm scared. I was like, no, I'm scared. I know. I think, that'd be interesting. I'd like that more than that Beyond Two Souls sci-fi. See, you have no idea. You're just like, you have no idea. We talked about this last week. You're like, I don't really care about Beyond Two Souls. You just gotta give it some time. No, I've read previews. I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. I got this little ghost that hangs out with me, and my head's all shaved, and I used to... Ellen Page, she's like, I'm a ghost, and my head's all shaved, and I used to be Juno, and look how edgy I am. I'm an actor. But yes. I'm edgy like it wasn't hard candy. So, I don't know. I think you just need to see more of it, and then you'll be like, oh, you know what? This looks kind of cool. But we just haven't seen enough of it. Like, I'm down for David Cage. I'm down with Quantic Dream.
Beyond.
I was down. Like, I'm ready. Because fucking Indigo Prophecy was crazy as shit and fucking weird, and Heavy Rain was depressing and awesome. I'm ready for Beyond Two Souls. Exactly, that's what I mean. I mean, it's gonna be trash, right? Like I said, whatever they make, it's gonna be at least interesting.
I think David Cage's his grand plan is to make video gamers just want their ultimate goal to just stop playing video games because of how just like. He makes so much. Everything is either weird, depressing, or just creepy. Like the old man looking at you, or not looking at you, like the fucking Jesus painting. Mm-hmm. It's too much. It's too much, David Cage.
Yeah.
I think he cut it a little bit. Did you cut out? Did he cut out for you, Tom?
He did, but I think he'll come through using Audacity. Yes.
Oh yeah, he's using Audacity. That's fine.
So if we go, I think that's it for software, unless we're missing anything.
That's it for games too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going into the community section. Last week, we asked the DualShock question of the week, and that was, what game franchise would you like to see end? Tom, you told me that you had a reply.
Yeah. Wait, there. I think the person's gone offline. It's from a hero who wrote in last week. That he said this. He said Resident Evil. He thinks.
Hero, get out of my podcast.
He said, they don't know what they want it to be anymore. I mean, they've been a horror game in the past, and now they're coming to the action, and Resident Evil 6. It's just stupid. He doesn't like it at all.
I enjoyed Resident Evil 6, and I'll give it this much. Jake was alright. Chris was still more of it felt a lot like 5, only a little less sunny and African people.
Yeah.
A little less boring. 5 was good, but it was not as good. But Leon's campaign, at least the first couple of chapters, felt more like classic Resident Evil with current Resident Evil controls.
Yeah.
It was a little more tense, a little more horrifying, and marked the return of, zombies. So that was nice.
I think Capcom were just afraid to make a new IP. I mean, they shouldn't have messed with the Resident Evil formula when it was that popular, especially after Resident Evil 4. And if they wanted to make a co-op game, that was the perfect opportunity. New generation,
right?
Create a new IP that's a co-op. I mean, they could have made it a survival horror co-op, but I think they just attached. Same with that Operation Raccoon City. They just
Operation Raccoon City was terrible.
Exactly. I think they just attached the name for sales because they're too scared to try something new.
Operation Raccoon City was the first review that I did for. No, it was the second. The first review was Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Second review I did was Operation Raccoon City, and I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, because
it was awful. It was honestly the worst Resident Evil game I played, and I played all the others in the main series, not like Dead Aim or all those, but I played 1, 2, 3, 4, all that. And I hated Operation Raccoon City. Of course, I hate any game with a sticky cover system. Give me a button to go in and out of cover.
Yeah.
I think that 6 kind of had a bit of a sticky cover thing, but but it worked a little bit better, and you didn't have to use it.
Mm. Hero also said maybe Assassin's Creed's had its run.
See, now I agree with that. Hero, you can come back into my podcast.
He goes, as for all the location changes, they've basically not changed the core games for 4 games now. They've added a few things here and there, but for the most part, it's just tail him, kill him, or climb that. Or just spend a bit longer on the next game, at least instead of cranking it out in a year like usual. So, I mean, that was one of mine last week, I believe, that Assassin's Creed needs to either
never liked that.
Or take time. Like I said last week, I like 1 and 2, but after that...
I've never liked Assassin's Creed. Yeah. It's just boring. And the control scheme sucks. It's the same button. You pretty much press the same button to run and climb. It's where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
I could play that game one-handed.
Yeah, free running, otherwise known as hold on1 and X, and then move.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want any more Assassin's Creed games. I don't care.
Yeah.
Not to mention history is my worst subject, so.
I think that's what we got this week.
That's all we got. We actually have a question. We have one question.
Oh, do it.
Before we head into the new community question, the question of the week. Albert showed up and he said, how many which more existing franchises will be announced for the PS4 launch? So how many more existing franchises will be announced, and which ones would they be?
I'm going to say I'd probably say maybe an Uncharted game because they know it might be a system seller, but I doubt it'll be created by Naughty Dog. But Naughty Dog are definitely, because they had two teams working on. They had only half the team working on Uncharted 3 and the other half working on Last of Us. And I think the team that were working on Uncharted 3 are working on a new game for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, like I said last week, Naughty Dog is known for making a trilogy of games and a racing game.
Yeah.
And then just moving on.
Yeah.
So,
but I think now they split the team in half, there's a possibility.
There might be an Uncharted game.
Yeah.
Which would be good. I mean, Uncharted 4 on the PlayStation 4.
Exactly, that's what I was
not a bad
thinking.
idea.
Yeah.
But I don't expect it to be a launch game, but I do expect that there will be a new a Naughty Dog IP coming. Maybe that's not even The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Other than The Last of Us, I should say. I would say probably a Resistance game. I bet Resistance 4. There will be a Resistance 4.
I'm not sure.
I doubt
it.
Played 3, so.
Well, Insomniac said they're done with that series forever.
Oh,
and I'm sure, and I think Resistance 2 was bad, in my opinion, and Resistance 3 was good, but no one bought it because Resistance 2 was bad, so.
That's because Nathan Hale was a boring protagonist.
I mean, it's a launch title, you expect it to have, be a bit rough, but it's an enjoyable shooter and it has some interesting weapons, but 2 was just, I think 2 was crap, to be honest.
I wouldn't put it past them to make a Ratchet and Clank game for a launch title.
I'd hope so, as long as it's good as the core titles. But I'm really worried because they're making that Fuse game, aren't they? And I hope they don't. I don't think that game's going to do well, and I hope they don't end up like these dying companies because of it.
Well,
now
I'm starting
to wonder.
They still want.
Go ahead.
They still want to hang on to Ratchet. They don't want to do anything like they did with Resistance, like with Ratchet and Clank. So there's definitely a possibility that Ratchet will be on the PS4.
Yeah, I hope so, because I think that those games benefit most, like with their Pixar type animation. I think they do the best on the PlayStation 4. But I'm really worried because they've been pouring out Ratchet and Clank recently with all these terrible Q4s, All for One, these terrible, spin-offs when the core games are, really good. Like the Cracking Time, Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, and the original 3 on the PlayStation 2, I think were great games. As long as they're building core Ratchet and Clank games, they do well.
Yeah. Now, I've been kind of curious about this. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure if it's going to be this generation. I think it may be a both.
I mean, people said, I believe it was E3, right, where that we saw it. People said it's a PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah, I think so too, but I think it's going to be one of those. It's on PlayStation 3 and 4. Just like Call of Duty 3, stuff like that.
I have no idea what they're going to do.
I think they're going to have it. It's going to be on PlayStation 3, but not as good. It's going to lack a lot of features that the PlayStation 4 will have.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wish I could just have it now. Mm-hmm. And, I'm still wondering if Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes are one and the same.
Definitely. They are.
I don't know. I mean, what's with the hook hand? Did Big Boss ever have a hook hand?
I don't know. Who knows? But it's obviously the same. It's the same.
I mean, I can't imagine that Kojima would be working on 2 different Metal Gear Solid games right now.
Exactly. The community.
Week. And then we'll close out. We talked a lot about the PlayStation 4 today. And our question of the week reflects that. Like we said, the PlayStation, the new controller has a share button. You can upload gameplay and all that. So our question of the week is, what is the first thing that you want to share with the community? What's the first, what's the first game that you want to throw in and just record some gameplay and throw it up on your page? What do you want to share? Do you want to show a little bit of Infamous, or do you want to play a little Watch Dogs and show off how cool you are, or do you want to show off some Killzone, your Killzone skills? What do you want to do?
See, I'm not one for showing, but I'd say Bethesda are probably going to create a game for the next generation, because obviously. So I'm going to say it's Fallout 4. I'm going to say
please.
And I'm going to say I'm going to upload some ridiculous stuff I get up to on that buggy, but awesome game that's going to be created in the future. But that's about it. I can't think of anything else I'd do. What about you?
What about you, Alan?
I would probably upload I'd probably either do me being just god-awful in Watch Dogs, or me just repeatedly jumping off buildings in Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I think Watch Dogs is going to be it for me, too. Like, that's the first thing. Like, when I pop in Watch Dogs, I'm going to be looking for something awesome to do so I can share it. So I can be like, look at how tight I am.
I shot out both tires, but I still got killed by that car. What's up?
that car just slammed straight into me. So that's our question of the week. What is the first thing you want to share with the community? Send your responses to our Facebook page, at the DualShock Show, or you can tweet at us at the DualShock Show.
Or visit our forums.
Yes, please.
Visit our forums.
Let's go to the Sony section and with the sticky topic, DualShock Show.
So now let's close out the show. Thank you for listening to the DualShock Show. This is a big episode. We had a lot of technical difficulties, so it might take a little longer to go up. Sorry that it's already late, but we wanted to make sure we got all the PS4 news for you.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. I feel like I caused this somehow.
No,
it's not you. It's my internet. We already said that I can't even connect to the internet on my PlayStation right now. So So it must be me. So I'm sorry. It's going to be a short week because we're going to go back to recording on Wednesdays. So get those answers into us. Thank you so much for listening to the DualShock Show. You can come to our website, VGU.TV. Find us on YouTube, VGU.TV official. That's where this podcast will go, because we always put it in a YouTube video, because iTunes is a bitch. You can tweet at us at VGU.TV, or you can tweet the show, DualShock Show. You can also find DualShock on Facebook at DualShock Show. Or if you want to tweet at us individually, I am Mattman07. Tom is Gaming Hobbyist. Alan is the Alan Muir. That is the TheAllanMuir. I'm not going to mention your Xbox Live gamer tag because why would I?
Yeah,
this is a PlayStation show. But if you want to play on PSN, play on the PSNs with us. Alan is that Jew boy. That's right.
That's right. That's right, listeners. It's that terrible.
It's all one word.
Disclaimer, he is Jewish.
Yes. I'm not a faker.
That Jew boy with an I, so that Jew, B-O-I. I am Mattman310, and Tom is Pi_guy. That's Pi Guy, the guy with the pie. Thank you so much for listening to DualShock. Thank you, Alan, for being on DualShock.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me be on the show.
Well, I mean, PlayStation 4 is a big announcement. If we had more people to talk about it, we probably would have had a bigger cast. But it's nice to have a smaller conversation, Otherwise, we're all just talking over each other.
I think I actually talk more here than I have on all my GamerCast appearances so far.
I noticed that. I tried to get you to kind of talk a little bit more. Because you were just kind of hanging out in the background. I was like, Alan, what do you want? What do you think?
Yeah.
So that's going to be it.